Jorge Posada, what a career. What's up, guys? Yankees run this town here. First of all, what do you guys think of the new intro? I just made it over the break, and I was thinking of maybe using it as my just collective intro for the whole season, for the off season. Um, so, what do you guys think? Post your comments below. I hope to get a lot of feedback from you guys. And based on your feedback, I guess I'll decide whether I'll keep this intro. I personally like it. Yeah. But anyway, this video is not in any means about an intro. It's about a great, great Yankee, Jorge Posada, number 20. Um, there was many reports, and it's true, it's confirmed. It was on MLB Network, it was everywhere, that Jorge Posada is going to announce his retirement within the next 2 weeks. I mean, that really didn't come as a shock to me. I was actually really happy that he was able to retire a Yankee and that he didn't, play another season, getting only 200 at bats and damaging his career numbers, and most of all playing in a different uniform. It really wouldn't have been worth it. Really wouldn't have been something I would have wanted to see. And Jorge, retires the Yankee and retires with a whole lot of pride, and really just had a great, great career. Jorge, I mean, I don't know where to start. This guy is he was such a fierce competitor. Always was protecting his teammates. Even though Derek Jeter was the captain, Jorge was the vocal leader in that clubhouse. I think he was stubborn enough to speak his mind on anything, and if he wanted to call out a teammate, he'd do that. And he was also really personable. If a teammate was struggling, I think Jorge was able to pick him up and help him through it. Jorge, although he didn't catch last year, last year I guess you could say, Jorge, in my opinion, was a great catcher. People are gonna probably think I'm stupid, but he wasn't a great defensive catcher. But sometimes doesn't always come down to defense. It comes down to how you manage a pitching staff. And Jorge won 4 World Series as the Yankees' starting catcher. And no matter what, a catcher is an integral part to any championship team. And the Yankees had some pitchers on all 4 of those teams that were shaky, that were not always consistent, and that, frankly, maybe didn't even deserve a spot in the postseason roster. But Jorge was able to help them through it. And Jorge, in my opinion, if you're catching for a championship team, you have to be doing something right. And he did that 4 times. And he was great working with pitchers. People think that there's just a bunch of pitchers that didn't like throwing to him, but there were a lot of pitchers that loved throwing to him. Andy Pettitte, no doubt. Roger Clemens. There were so many pitchers that loved Jorge catching, and Jorge did a great job. And I remember, not to make this about myself, but I remember that I used to catch a lot in Little League. I haven't caught in about a year and a half maybe, but I was a starting catcher for basically every single Little League team up until around age 12, I guess. And as a little kid, I learned basically a lot about catching by watching Jorge Posada catch. I'm not saying I became the Carlton Fisk of my Little League, but I think I was really good, and I think that didn't all attribute, but it really attributed to watching Jorge, watched what he did, watched how he fielded the position, and Jorge, in my opinion, was a good catcher, and to be behind the plate for championship teams, you can't deny that he was doing something right with those great pitching staffs, because it's not always about the pitching. It's not always about the pitchers who pitch great. It's about the catchers who call the pitches, who patrols the infield, really the captain of the team on the field. I mean, you could argue the shortstop is, but the catcher gives all the signals and stuff like that. So Jorge was a good catcher, and offensively, I mean, if it weren't for Mike Piazza, I think we would all consider him a first ballot Hall of Famer. I mean, Jorge had I think about 8 seasons of 20-plus home runs and 80-plus RBIs. That's just insane. He batted 300 a couple times. At age 35, I still remember, in 2007, he batted like 338, which was incredible. And, I mean, Jorge, such a great offensive catcher. Like I said, if Mike Piazza didn't exist, this guy would have been the best offensive catcher, definitely within, maybe the last 30 years. He ranks right up there. His stats are right up there with, Yogi Berra, Bill Dickey, Johnny Bench, the likes of them. And, I mean, I think there's no doubt that he should be a Hall of Famer. And, like I said, look at his stats. They are, they're not amazing stats, but they're great for a catcher. They're incredible for a catcher. And, Jorge, I mean, just, I have so many great things to say about him, I mean, he just had so much pride in catching, and had so much, pride in being a Yankee. He loved being a Yankee. He thought it meant a lot. He took it very seriously when he put on the pinstripes. And, I mean, I'm still not happy with the Yankees, the way they treated him this season. I mean, yes, there were times where I even, arguably wanted Jorge to retire or to be benched. But, I mean, I don't think it was right for them to just strip him completely of his catching duties. I kept telling this with all my friends. I'm saying Jorge's going to continue to struggle if he doesn't get behind the plate. And granted, he had an okay second half. But I really think Jorge should have been able to catch 30, 40 games. He would have been able to do that, and he should have done that for the Yankees. I think it would have helped the Yankees overall. I think it would have kept Jorge happy, would have kept him fresh, and would have helped his hitting, because it was just such a different routine from being a catcher and a DH, and not a lot of people can do that. You think a lot of people can, but it's not that simple. Jorge, catching was all he knew, and for him to suddenly become a DH, I think was very hard on him, and the Yankees, I think they screwed up with that, but I mean, I'm not saying Jorge was going to go out and hit 30 home runs this year if he caught anyway, but I think it definitely would have helped. But anyway, I mean, I don't want to try to bring up 2011 that much. I want to talk about the years prior to that, and they really were great years. He was a great hitter in the postseason. Just I have nothing more to say about him. Just a great Yankee, a great baseball player, a great catcher, and it's going to be really weird not seeing him on the Yankees anymore. But I'm sure we'll see him again. I really could see Jorge becoming a coach or even a manager one day, maybe even of the Yankees. I mean, I think Jorge is a great leader. Is a great a great vocal leader, and I think he would be a great coach, or a great manager, and I definitely see that in his future. And I wish I could say I see a future of him being enshrined in Cooperstown, and I think he is a Hall of Famer. But I think it'll be so tough to get in with all the big names that are going to be on the ballot for the next 5 or 10 years. I mean, I think Jorge will maybe get in, but he definitely should. He should be a Hall of Famer. It's just going to be really tough for him to overcome the bigger names than him, like the Barry Bonds and the Sammy Sosas of the world. So, Jorge Posada, congratulations on an incredible career. Monument Park, number 20 is going to be retired, and rightfully so. He wore that uniform greatly and represented the Yankees in a great fashion. And I'm gonna miss Jorge being behind the plate. I did last year. And best of luck to you in your post-baseball career. You definitely earned it. And I'm going to miss you, Jorge, So for one last time, hip, hip, Jorge. And I'll see you guys in my next video.